Hey everybody, good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. And once again, I know I'm a little bit late on this. I wanted the JSN video to kind of sit on its own for a few hours there, but we are not going to be ignoring this either because this is also significant Seattle Seahawks news and we got to talk about it. So, per several sources, including Tom Pelissaro, earlier today, this morning, the Seattle Seahawks decided they want to keep Jake Bobo around, and they have matched the Jacksonville Jaguars offer sheet, meaning that Jake Bobo is going to stay in Seattle on a 2-year, $5.5 million deal that includes $4.5 million guaranteed. Bobo gets a $1.75 million signing bonus. There are incentives on the deal that could take it up to $7 million, but I commented on this in a previous video. The incentives are kind of ridiculous for a player like Bobo to hit, so I'm not even really thinking about those. There would have to be so many injuries for Bobo to hit any of those incentives in my mind that I kind of feel like if he does hit those incentives, a little extra money to Bobo is going to be the least of our problems. So I don't care about that at all. In my mind, this is a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. So that is 2.75 million per year, which is actually less than the restricted tender. So I thought there was a pretty good chance we were going to match this because of that. If it had been a 1-year deal for like 4 million, that feels very, very different. But 2 years, 5.5, I think Bobo can earn that kind of money as a member of the Seahawks, even if he doesn't do much as a receiver. And to be clear, I don't think that he necessarily will do a lot as a receiver. When I think about Jake Bobo, I do think of somebody that has proven he's very limited in that capacity, but he does maybe a little bit there. And then he's giving you stuff on special teams. And it feels like, okay, all right, 2.75 million a year for 2 years. That's not even 1% of the salary cap. Sure. Can't go too wrong with that. And there is something to be said for peace of mind. Having Jake Bobo on the team as a backup in the event of injuries happening, that's a little bit better than having someone like Ricky White, who has done nothing for you. You have no idea what that is. It's better than having some other new UDFA that you might bring in April or May that you have no idea what they can do. At least with Bobo, you have some idea. And I'm going to say it again, the Seahawks can afford this. They are not pressed up against the cap. So it'd be one thing if they were pressed up against the cap and actually had to sacrifice to keep Bobo, but that's not really the case. So yeah, to my knowledge, it's over now. I don't believe Jacksonville can come back in and try to outbid us. I'm pretty sure things are closed now, so we have Jake Bobo. Possibly another team could come in and try to make a better offer, I guess, because Bobo hasn't signed the offer sheet that we or the contract that we offered him yet. But I'm pretty sure that things are pretty much closed now. We're going to keep him around, and the contract details are also out on Spotrac. Assuming this is accurate. So first year cap it is 2.3 million. Sure. Remember, no comp pick because he was a Seahawk last year. And then the cap hit goes up to 3.1 million in 2027. But you can see, and this is the one thing that's a little bit of a hiccup here. The one reason why maybe you wouldn't have wanted to match this, the dead cap hit on a release of Jake Bobo is not really that different than the cap hit. It's about 2.4 million. So there's very little reason why you would ever let Jake Bobo go. So you're basically committed to Bobo for 2 years. That's the only reason why I think this deal would have been an issue. Because again, I do think that he's probably worth about this much per year, the 2.75. But now you have no real option to move off of him either this offseason or next offseason. He's just going to be here. But I think they're okay with that. And I don't think that's a big problem. He's proven that he can do some stuff. He has value. This is not an overpay in my mind. The only thing you could really argue in my mind is that your fifth wide receiver should be making the minimum. And there is something to be said for that. I think that some people might argue that a fifth wide receiver just isn't important enough to give more than like 1.2 million a year or something like that. But I can see it both ways. I don't think it's that simple. I mean, even in 2027, he's less than 1% of the salary cap. I have a hard time having a problem with a player who I know can do some stuff being worth less than 1% of the salary cap. Okay, I think that's really about all there is to say here. Welcome back, Jake Bobo. Nice to have him around, and hopefully we end up getting our money's worth, and he ends up contributing in ways that are meaningful to him. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks! Everyone have a good rest of your day. A couple more videos coming later. I know they're not going to be nearly as exciting as this, but yeah, JSN back, Bobo back. The receiver room is basically full. Unless you're trying to move off of Cody White, which you could still do. I think you're pretty much locked in at receiver.